Right, and okay, then to continue the second part of this Fisherman and His Soul of Oscar Wilde's complete short of fiction, we continue talking about the fisherman drawing in his nets, and obviously he has had difficulties when it was windy, and obviously he had to worry about all sorts of other sea creatures that could have been around. And now I'm just going to continue. Her hair was as a wet fleece of gold, and each separate hair a thread of fine gold in a cup of glass. Her body was as white ivory, and her tail was of silver and pearl. Silver and pearl was her tail. You see, he seems to sort of repeat himself. It's a question of poetic license. In some sense, it's a question of, if I'm not satisfied with poetic license, I might even not know exactly what that means. Is satisfied with the fact that he likes the sound of his own voice, and also he likes the sound of how, well, repeating yourself is a way of actually adjudicating the understanding of how beautiful something can be, that it takes a second moment to reflect on something and to be astonished the first time. You want to show in word terms that if you say it a second time, it's like you had to peer and sort of look again. I can't believe it is so beautiful. Her hair was of ivory and pearl. Silver and pearl was her tail, actually. Of her tail. So he's got it wrong. Right. And the green weeds of the sea coiled round it, and like seashells were her ears, and her lips were like sea coral. The cold waves dashed over her cold breasts, and the salt glistened upon her eyelids. So beautiful was she that when the young fisherman saw her, he was filled with wonder. Wow! Can't believe it. I can't believe it, man. Right. And he put out his hand and drew the net close to him, and leaning over the side, he clasped her in his arms. Hi there. God, I gotta hold on to you. And when he touched her, she gave a cry like a startled seagull and woke, and looked at him in terror with her mauve amethyst eyes, that's purpley blue eyes, and struggled that she might escape. But he held her tightly to him, and would not suffer her to depart. And when she saw that she could in no way escape from him, she began to weep, and said, I pray thee let me go, for I am the only daughter of a king, and my father is aged and alone. But the young fisherman answered, I will not let thee go, save thou makest me a promise that whenever I call thee, thou wilt come and sing to me. For the fish delight to listen to the song of the sea folk, and so shall my nets be full. Wilt thou in very truth let me go, if I promise thee this? Cried the mermaid. In very truth I will let thee go, said the fisherman. So she made him the promise he desired, and sware it by the oath of the sea folk. And he loosened his arms from about her, and she sank down into the water, trembling with a strange fear. Who now? That fisherman should have never touched me. I am too frail. I think that's really silly, but I shouldn't do it. Anyway, I have. Every evening the young fisherman went out upon the sea and called to the mermaid, and she rose out of the water and sang to him. Round and round her swam the dolphins, and the wild gulls wheeled above her head. Just as you heard some gulls out there, you see. Sometimes these things are coincidental. Weird. And she sang a marvellous song, for she sang of the sea folk who drive their flocks from cave to cave, and carry the little calves on their shoulders. How can you carry calves on your shoulders? I mean, surely that's a bloody hard thing to do, is it? What, is it the only Scottish can do that? Oh, we're carrying our fucking calves on our shoulders, you know. Right. Of the Tritons who have long green beards and hairy breasts, and blow through twisted conches when the king passes. See? Of of the palace of the king, which is all of amber, so sort of browny colour, browny gold, with a roof of clear emerald. Wow, you can imagine, ting-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling, wonderful, wonderful feeling. And a pavement of bright pearl, and of the gardens of the sea, where the great filigrane fans of coral wave all day long, and the fish dart about like silver birds. And the anemones cling to the rocks, and the pink bourgeon in the ribbed yellow sand. She sang of the big whales that come down from the North Seas, and have sharp icicles hanging to their fins, of the sirens who tell of such wonderful things that the merchants have to stop their ears with wax lest they should hear them, and leap into the water and be drowned, of the sunken galleys with their tall masts, and the frozen sailors clinging to the rigging, and the mackerel swimming in and out of the open portholes. Whee! You can just imagine that. That's quite cool. Hey, the little mackerel. Wee, 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 we're swimming out in the portholes. Of the little barnacles who are great travellers, on the boats, of course, stuck on the bottom side, and cling to the keels of the ships, and go round and round the world, and of the cuttlefish who live in the sides of the cliffs, and stretch out their long black arms, and can make night come when they will it. She sang of the nautilus who has a boat of her own, that is carved out of an opal, and steered with a silken sail, of the happy mermen who have played upon harps, and can charm the great kraken, just like in, do you remember Caribbean? So the Pirates of the Caribbean, when he gets eaten by one, Mr. Jack Sparrow. To sleep. Oh, charm the great kraken to sleep. Of the little children who catch hold of the slippery porpoises, and ride laughing upon their backs, of the mermaids who lie in the white foam, and hold out their arms to the mariners, and of the sea lions with their curved tusks, and the sea horses with their floating manes. And there ends the second part. Hopefully you will come and hear the third part.